So in the last session, we have discussed about the various cloud services which has been offered by Salesforce to their customers. Like we have discussed about the Sales Cloud, the Service Cloud features, Marketing Cloud, App Cloud, Data.com or Jigsaw, and Collaboration Cloud or Chatter, and we have discussed about the Salesforce Instance platform as well. Now, so today we'll see the releases of Salesforce. So how frequently Salesforce is providing the new releases for their customers. We'll see practically today here. For example, come to a general scenario. Assume that I have an organization, some Microsoft. Microsoft is purely a product development organization which offers the various software products for their customers. So they are providing the products in terms of operating systems, in terms of browsers, in terms of programming languages, in terms of databases, in terms of tools. They are providing so many software products. So as part of their products, they are offering a product called as some Microsoft .NET, like as a .NET framework, which is used to build your own custom applications. So initially, they have introduced this Microsoft .NET with the version 1.0. This is the first version which has been introduced by the Microsoft people for their customers. So as part of this Microsoft .NET framework, in the version 1.0, they have provided some set of features. Now, so after one more year, they have introduced one more version into the market, that is Microsoft .NET version 2.0, which is having some more additional features. By adding some additional enhancements to the older version, they have given that new release to their customers as part of that new version, that is version 2.0, which is having some additional features. And then after one more year, they have introduced one more version 3.0, which is having some more additional features. And then they have introduced one more version 3.5, which is having some additional features. After one more year, they have introduced one more version 4.0, which is having some additional features. And then they have introduced the version 5.0, which is having so many additional features, which is the current release. That means whatever the softwares are available in the IT industry, each and every software will be available in terms of the various versions. Like version 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 3.5, 4.0, 5.0. Like that, each and every new release will be available in terms of versions. So based on this version number, we can identify whether it is a new version or whether it is an old version. So if it is a new version, it will be having some additional features. If it is an old version, it will be having very old features. Now, that means what? When coming to the softwares, whatever the softwares are available in the IT industry, each and every software will be available in terms of the versional basis. Okay, versional basis, which is a specific number, like as 1.0, 2.0, 1.5, or it may be 1.1, like that. They're providing the softwares in terms of versional basis. But when coming to the Salesforce is also giving some new releases. Okay, Salesforce is also providing some new releases that will be for each and every 4 months. For each 4 months, okay, for each 4 months, Salesforce is providing a new release. That means the yearly 3 releases. Yearly 3 releases. Salesforce is providing the 3 releases per year. Okay. So in this case, Salesforce releases are not versional basis. Salesforce releases are purely seasonal basis. These are purely seasonal basis. We don't have any version number like as 1.0, 2.0, 1.1, 3.5, nothing. Salesforce releases are purely seasonal basis. I think you are aware of that. In a year, you will be having 3 seasons. Like you are having the winter season, spring season, and the summer season. These are the 3 seasons are there in every financial year. Now, Salesforce releases are purely on the seasonal basis. So that Salesforce is providing the winter release and the spring release and then the summer release. So Salesforce is purely offering the releases in terms of seasonal basis, where Salesforce is providing the 3 releases per year. Because Salesforce is providing 3 releases per year here. In this case here, these releases are purely the seasonal basis. Like as they're offering the winter release, and then the spring release, and then the winter release. These are the various releases has been offered by Salesforce by default here. Now, so now here in this case, in each and every release, Salesforce is providing some new features. They are adding some additional enhancements. They are adding some additional enhancements as part of this each and every new release over here. Now, so in this case, we can raise a question. Sir, in the financial year 2018, we have these three releases. Nothing but the 3 seasons are available. And the current year also we are having the same seasons. In the next year also we have the same season. Then how do we know this winter release of which year? Is it a winter release of 2018 year, or 2019 year, or 2020 year? Then how do we know? Now, so now here in this case here, okay, now here in this case. So in order to indicate that whether this winter release of which year, Salesforce is going to postfixing that year number also along with this. The Salesforce is going to postfixing that year number along with that season name. Like as winter 19, that means the 2019 year's winter release. And the spring 19, 2019's spring release. And then the summer 19, 2019 year's summer release. Like that, Salesforce is going to be indicating that the release name along with that year number also. So that directly we can understand. So this release is of which year and which season. Now, so we can identify that. So we are having the 3 releases from Salesforce in each and every financial year, like as a winter 19 release, spring 19 release, and then summer 19 release. These are the 3 releases are available: winter, spring, and the summer. Now, so now here in this case, so what is the current release of Salesforce here? The current release is spring 19, which has been given by Salesforce on February 9, 2019. Because Salesforce has given that release on February 9, 2019. And the summer release is the next release. It is the next release which is going to be offering by Salesforce on June. In next June 15th, 2019, Salesforce is going to be providing that new release to you. The previous release is the previous release. The winter 19 was the previous release. Winter 19 is the previous release, Spring 19 is the current release, and then Summer 19 is the next release, which is going to be introducing by Salesforce on June 15, 2019. So in this
Hi,
case,
Feroz. I have a doubt. So are these releases mandatory, or can we approve them before these updates are applied to our CRM instances?
no need to approach anywhere. So now these releases will be given by the Salesforce automatically, and which we can't prevent.
Okay,
It will
thank you.
automatically upgrading. Okay.
Okay.
Now, so in this case here, now when coming to the Salesforce, in every financial year they are going to providing this three releases to you. In each and every release, they're introducing some new enhancements. They're providing some new features. Now here in this case here, now you can raise a question, sir, Salesforce is offering three classifications of cloud computing services, like as Salesforce people are offering the SaaS, and they're offering the platform, and they're offering the infrastructure services also. And they're providing three releases per year. That means, so as part of winter, they're providing one category for service, and the spring, one more category of service, and summer, one more category of service. No, not like that here. In each and every release, you will be getting the latest features related to SaaS and the platform and the infrastructure. That means in the winter release, Salesforce is providing some latest features related to SaaS as well as the platform as well as the infrastructure also. That means as part of winter 19 release, they have given some new features related to the Salesforce CRM, because as part of the SaaS, Salesforce is offering the CRM application. And as part of platform, Salesforce has offered the Force.com platform, which contains some Apex programming and then Visual Force programming. And as part of infrastructure, Salesforce is providing the various servers. So now here in this case, what will happen, whenever Salesforce is giving a new release to you, as part of that new release, they're providing the latest features related to SaaS as well as platform and as well as infrastructure also. Like the similar way here, okay, like the similar way here also in the Spring 19 release also, as part of this Spring 19 release, Salesforce has given some latest features related to SaaS as well as platform as well as infrastructure. And like the similar way in the Summer 19 also, they're providing some latest features related to SaaS and the platform and the infrastructure. So these are the various releases has been given by the Salesforce over here. So now when coming to the Salesforce, Salesforce is providing the three releases per in year. That means for every 4 months, Salesforce is giving the new release. For every 4 months, Salesforce is giving the new release. So now those releases are purely seasonal basis, like as winter release, spring release, and the summer release. In order to know this release of which financial year, they're using a notation that they're using that season name, that means the release name. Along with that, they are going to be indicating that year number also. Okay, this release will be related to that which financial year, to indicate that. Like as they're indicating winter 19, spring 19, and the summer 19. So as part of this each and every new release, they're introducing some latest features related to the SaaS, that means Salesforce CRM application, and then they're providing some latest features related to the Force.com platform. That is, they're adding some new enhancements for the Apex programming and for the Visual Force programming also. Along with that, they keep on doing some enhancements for the servers also, like as in terms of security features, in terms of performance features, in terms of backup and restoring facilities. They are going to keep on doing some enhancements as part of each and every new release. So now here in this case here, for example, if the summer 19 release is also over, then what is the next release? That will be the winter 20, and then spring 20, and then the summer 20. Like that, this cycle will be keep on repeating over here. In each and every financial year, this cycle will be keep on repeating as it is over here. Okay. Now, so in this case, you can raise a question. Sir, Salesforce is introducing that latest release, that is Summer 19, which will be on June 15th of this year. Then as part of the Summer 19 release, what new features Salesforce is planning to introduce? How do we know? So for that one, if you want to know what new features Salesforce is introducing as part of the new release, that the whole information we can able to get it from the Salesforce release note. Salesforce is providing a release note document. In that release note document, they're clearly describing that as part of this new release, these are the latest features we are planning to introduce. As part of CRM application, these are the features. As part of First.com platform, these are the features. As part of Apex programming, these are the features. As part of Result First programming, these are the features. As part of infrastructure, these are the features. They're clearly describing inside that release note. So now in that release note, they're going to be clearly describing what new features they're planning to introduce as part of that new release. Then where this release note is available, this release note you can able to freely download from the website www.salesforce.com. This release note is available inside that salesforce.com website, so we can able to freely download this release note from that salesforce.com website, and we can able to go through that. Okay, we can go through that release note in order to know what new features Salesforce is planning to introduce as part of that each and every new release here. Okay, so these are the 3 releases are available from Salesforce in financial year. Now, the next one. The next feature is the server instances. So what exactly the server instance? What is the use? How many servers are maintaining by Salesforce in different regions? And what regions are available in which the Salesforce business has been spread across? And how many servers are available in each and every region? And what are those server numbers? How can we track whether your server is up and running fine or not? Or do we have any issues inside that server? How can we verify how frequently Salesforce is planning to do the maintenance for that service? Now let's see practically. This feature is the most important feature as part of interview and as part of implementations. Now, so that already we have discussed that Salesforce is offering the cloud services to their customers in terms of SaaS, in terms of platform, in terms of infrastructure. They're offering all these 3 classifications of cloud services to their customers. Now, so in this case, when coming to the Salesforce, they have spread across their business to the 3 different regions. Initially, they have started their business from the North America region. And then from there, they have expanded their business to the Europe region. It is also called as EMEA. That means Europe, Middle East and Africa. It is also called as EU region. And then they have expanded the business to the Asia Pacific region. This is called as AP region. So these are the 3 regions where the Salesforce business has been spread across. Then, so what they did in this case over here? So how they are going to be reserving some memory space for their customers? Now let's see practically in this case here. Now, so now let's see in this case. So initially, Salesforce people have started their business from the North America region. Okay, they have started their business from the North America region. So in this North America region, initially they have started with the first server over here. They have started with the first server, where they have established a server over here. Now, so initially in the North America region, they have started with the first server. In the North America region. So they have established a first server. This is the first server which has been established by the Salesforce in the North America region. Now this server number is NA0. They have given that number as NA0. That means in North America regions, a first server. In North America regions, first server. So in this server, they're having some huge memory spaces available. Okay, they're having the huge memory spaces available inside this North America region's first server. So now here in this case, whenever, if any of the customers showed interest, okay, if any of the customer showed interest in Salesforce services, they are going to be allocating some amount of memory space inside that server here. Okay. They are going to be allocating some amount of memory space inside that server. Now, so now here in this case here, now this infrastructure concept is not a new one. It is a very, very older. Like when you go to our banking organizations, the banking people are going to be maintaining the various lockers. Whenever if any of the customer wants to keep their items inside that locker, so they are going to be allocating one locker to a particular customer. In that locker, the customer can able to place their valuable items so that the bank people will protect those things. Like the similar way here also, when coming to the Salesforce, Salesforce is maintaining their own servers. Because as a customer, once my application has been built, once my application has been developed by using the first.com platform, then where we can install, we need a server. So we need some memory space. We need some storage space where I can able to install that application. So in this case, instead of maintaining by our own servers, by investing the huge amount, we can take that infrastructure also. We can take that server resources also from Salesforce on rental basis. So that whatever the storage space or whatever the memory space, whatever the performance features, whatever the security features that we need, everything we can take it on rental basis from Salesforce. So that here, when coming to the Salesforce, they are establishing their own server called as NA0 inside that North America region. So they have started their servers, they have started their business from North America region initially, so that in that North America region, they have started the first server, that is NA0. In this NA0 server, they are having some huge memory spaces available. So whenever, if any of the customers showed interest to utilize Salesforce services, okay, if any of the customer showed interest to utilize Salesforce services, for that customer, they are going to be allocating some amount of memory space. For example, a customer showed interest. So for that customer here, they are allocating some amount of memory space over here. That means Salesforce is not providing the complete server to a single customer. Salesforce is maintaining a shared infrastructure. Salesforce is maintaining a shared infrastructure. That means one server will be sharing across the multiple customers over here. So they are going to be having their own huge server which is having the huge memory space inside that. From that, they are allocating some amount of memory space for that customer. Allocating this memory space is called as the Salesforce.com organization. Okay, it is called as a Salesforce.com organization. It is simply also called as org. It is simply also called as org. Now, this each and every organization here. For example, this is the organization 1, which has been allocated to the customer 1. For the first customer, they have allocated this organization. So in this case, each and every organization will be getting identified by using a unique identification number that is called as organization ID. Okay, every organization will be getting identified by using a organization ID, which is a 18 characters alphanumerical number. It is an 18 character alphanumerical number, which is an 18 character alphanumerical number that will be always starts with 00D. It is always starts with 00D. So which is a notation following by Salesforce over here. So now, like for example, whenever you are going to be taking a locker, every locker will be having some number. A locker number will be available over here. So now in this case here, like the similar way, Salesforce is going to be allocating some amount of memory space for that particular customer that is called as Salesforce.com organization. So in this case, each and every organization will be getting identified uniquely by using a unique identification number that is called as organization ID, which is a 18 character alphanumerical number which always starts with 00D. For example, when coming to the organization 1, assume that the organization ID is 00D, so 1, 2, 3, 4, for example. Now assume that this is the ID over there. Now, the next one. One more customer showed interest over here. For that customer, Salesforce is going to be reserving some more amount of memory space. Now for the customer 2, one more customer showed interest to utilize Salesforce services. So that for that customer, they are allocating some different amount of memory space over here. So this is for the customer 2. That means organization 2. Organization 2, this is for the second customer. Customer 2. Now for this one, Salesforce is going to be allocating one unique identification number. This organization will be having its own ID that is also starting with a 00D, for example 00D 2345. Now, so now here in this case here, so now they are going to be allocating some amount of memory space. So now this customer 2, this customer can able to install their applications inside this memory space. Their data, their file, their record, their documents, everything will be getting placing inside this memory space itself. That means the customer wants related applications, data, files, records, everything will be placing inside this memory space. Second customer's data will be storing inside this one. Their applications, their data, their files, records, everything will be inside this. Even though the multiple customers' applications are running inside that single server itself, one customer applications cannot be interacting with another customer application. Okay, that much of security boundaries are available. One customer can't utilize the second customer's data. That much of security boundaries are available in Salesforce implementation. So that now in this case here, one organization cannot be interacted with that another organization. If you want, there is a possibility is available, that is a different process. Now, so now here in this case here, like the similar way, one more customer showed interest to utilize the Salesforce services. For that customer, they are allocating some amount of memory space. This is for the customer 3. That means the organization 3, which is for the customer 3. Now for this organization, Salesforce is allocating a unique identification number. That organization ID is 00D some 3456. Like the similar way, one more customer showed interest. For that customer, they are going to be allocating some amount of memory space. So now this is for the organization 4. Is the organization 4 which has been allocated for the customer 4. Now for this organization, Salesforce is going to be allocating that unique identification number, that is 00D4567, like that. Like that, keep on they are going to be allocating the memory space for the various organizations. Okay, keep on they are allocating the memory space for the various organizations. Then you can raise a question, sir, for how many organizations they are allocating the memory space? Inside a single server, they are going to be allocating the memory space for 8,000 organizations. Inside a single server, you will be having 8,000 organizations are available. Okay, we are having 8,000 organizations are available in each and every server. Now, so now here in this case here, observe this one. Inside a single server, Salesforce is going to be allocating the memory space for 8,000 organizations. That means 8,000 customers' data and the applications and the files and the documents are residing inside a single server itself. In a single server, 8,000 customers' applications are running. Now each and every customer is having their own applications, their own servers, so their own memory space, their own data, their own document, their own files, everything will be separate over here. So now here in this case, in each and every server, Salesforce is going to be allocating the memory space for 8,000 organizations. That means here, these are called as Salesforce account. Each and every organization is also called as Salesforce account also. But as part of the terminology, we have to call it as an organization, and it is also called as org simply. We have to call it as org. Now, so now here in this case here, for example, so now Salesforce people are keep on allocating the memory space for each and every customer. So as of now, they have allocated the memory space for 8,000 organizations. That means they have allocated the memory space for 8,000 customers. So now as of now, whatever the memory space they have inside that server, that memory space has been full. That means they have allocated the memory space for the 8,000 customers. Now, so still some more people are showing interest to utilize Salesforce services. 8,001th customer is showing interest. Then what these people will do? Already we have allocated the memory space for 8,000 organizations. We have reached to the count. But still some more customers are showing interest. Some more people are showing interest to utilize the Salesforce services. Then what we can do in this case here? Do we need to stop the business? No. We can't stop the business over here. Then what needs to be done? As an organization, always I'm expecting to make my business to be keep on grow. I want to make my business to be always grow always. So that keep on I would like to capture some more customers. I would like to generate some more revenue. I would like to get some more profit out of it. So now here in this case, I don't want to stop my business. So for that one here, what we can do? So already we have reached to the 8,000 organizations. So in this case, when coming to the Salesforce, Salesforce is going to be introducing one more new server here. Okay, they're introducing one more new server inside that same region that is in the North American region. They're establishing one more server over here. This server number is NA1. This server number is NA1. So now here in this case here, they have established one more server. Because once they are reaching to the 8,000 organizations inside a server, then they will establish a new server, okay, with the new number. So the second server in the North America region, because NA1. So now here also the same situation. Whenever a customer showed interest, they are going to be allocating some amount of memory space. For the customer 1, some amount of memory space. For the customer 2, some amount of memory space. For the customer 3, some amount of memory space. For the customer 4, some amount of memory space. Like that here also, they are going to be allocating the memory space for 8,000 organizations. Here also, they are allocating the memory space for 8,000 organizations. That means 8,000 accounts are available. Now this each and every organization is called as a Salesforce account. Okay, Salesforce account. Like for example, whenever I'm creating a Gmail account, okay, whenever I'm creating the Gmail account, Google people are allocating 15 GB of memory space. For each and every Gmail account, Google people are allocating 15 GB of memory space. Like the similar way, whenever Salesforce, whenever if any of the customer is creating their own Salesforce account, that is called as Salesforce.com organization, for each and every organization, Salesforce is allocating some amount of memory space. Now, that account is called as Salesforce.com organization. Each and every Salesforce account which we are going to create is called as a Salesforce.com organization. Now, so now here in the North America region, second server also, that means in the NA1 also, they are allocating the memory space for 8,000 organizations. So at a certain point of time, they are reaching to this 8,000 customers inside this NA1 server also. Then what they will do, they will be keep on expanding. Like what they will do, they are going to be adding one more server here, like as NA2. And if that is also full, they will add NA3. If that is also full, NA4. If that is also full, then keep on, they are adding some new servers here. Now currently they are into NA130. Now currently they are into servers NA130. Nothing but in the North America region, they are having 131 servers are available here. Okay, in North America region, they are having 131 servers are available. In each server, they are having the memory space for 8,000 organizations, 8,000 customers. Now, for example here, this customer is like us. For example, the customer 1. Customer 1 is assumed that some TCS. Now TCS people has installed their own application inside this memory space. Now the customer 2 is some IBM. IBM people has installed their own applications over here. Customer 3 is like some CTS, Cognizant. They have installed their own applications. Customer 4 is like some Wipro. They have installed their own applications here. But as of now, what happened? TCS people are having their own servers, IBM is having their own servers, CTS is having their own servers, Wipro is having their own servers. But now, Salesforce is not maintaining a separate server for each and every customer. Salesforce is maintaining a shared infrastructure. Even though the customer may be any customer, he may be an organization, it may be anyone, we are allocating the memory space for that customer inside a server. So now, there is no dedicated servers available in Salesforce. Everything is shared infrastructure. Now, inside a single server, Salesforce is allocating some amount of memory space for the customer TCS. And then for the IBM, they are allocating some different amount of memory space. And for the Cognizant, they are allocating different amount of memory space. For the Wipro, they are allocating some different amount of memory space. Like the similar way, for each and every organization, Salesforce is allocating some amount of memory space over here. So now in this case, inside a single server, Salesforce is allocating the memory space for 8,000 customers. That each and every Salesforce account is called as Salesforce.com organization, or it is also called as simply org. Now, so now in this case, whenever they are reaching to that 8,000 customers inside a single server, then they would like to establish a new server, so that they can able to expand their business by allocating the memory space for the new customers in the new server itself. Now, so now here in this case when coming to that North America region, they are having the NA130 servers, nothing but 131 servers are available totally. So in this case, in the North America region, so many customers are utilizing the Salesforce services. They are very much happy with the features, performance features, security features which have been introduced by Salesforce. So because of the good feedback given by the North America region people, from the Europe region also, few people showed interest. Okay. From the Europe region also, few people showed interest over here. From the Europe region also, few people showed interest to utilize that Salesforce services. So that Salesforce people has expanded their business to the Europe region. So in the Europe region, they have started the first server. In the Europe region, they have started the first server. That is called as EU0. that is called as EU0. That means in the Europe region's first server. Here also the same situation. Whenever, if any of the customer from the Europe region showed interest to utilize the Salesforce services, Salesforce people are allocating some amount of memory space. Now, for example, a customer showed from the Europe region. Now, we can raise the question, sir, how the Salesforce will know this customer is from the Europe region? Why? Because is, for example, I want to open a bank account. Then what needs to be done initially? We have to go to the bank branch and we have to fill up an application form. To open a bank account, there is an application form is available. In that application form, you have to enter all your contact details, personal details, address details, everything. There, we are clearly mentioning that our address, to which city you are associated, what is your address, your state name, country name, everything. Like the similar way, whenever if you want to create a new Salesforce account, at that time, we have to fill up a registration form. In that registration form, we have to specify your country name. Based on the country name, they will verify this country will come under which region. And in that region servers, it will be allocating the memory space over here. Okay. So based on that country name, which they are associated, they are going to be allocating the memory space in that associated regions available server. So now here in this case here, from the Europe region, a customer showed interest. For that customer, Salesforce people are allocating some amount of memory space here. So now, this is the memory space allocating by the Salesforce for the customer. This is for the organization one. And then one more customer showed interest. For that customer, some more memory space. One more customer showed interest. Some more memory space. Another customer, some more memory space. Another customer, some more memory space. Another customer, some more memory space. Like that, here also, they are going to be allocating the memory space for 8,000 organizations. They are allocating the memory space for 8,000 organizations here. Now, so now if the EU0 server has been full, that means at a certain point of time, here they may be reaching to the 8,000 customers. That means 8,000 organizations. So now in this case, once they reach to that 8,000 organizations, in this case, they are going to be establishing one more server. So they will establish a new server that is with the number EU1. They are establishing a new server with the number EU1. Here also the same situation. Here also they are going to be allocating the memory space for 8,000 organizations or the 8,000 customers. For the first customer, some more memory space, for the second customer, and for the third customer, fourth customer, like that. If this server is also full, then they will be adding one more server over here. Like as they will be adding EU2. If that is also full, EU3. If that is also full, EU4. Like that, keep on they're adding servers. Now they are into EU26. Okay. Now currently they are into EU26. Totally 27 servers are available when coming to the Europe region. So now they have established the 27 servers in the Europe region, where in each and every server they are going to be allocating the memory space for 8,000 organizations. Now, in the Europe region also, so many customers have started using the Salesforce services. They are very much happy with the features, and in terms of performance, in terms of new releases, they are very much happy with that. Now, so in this case, because of the good feedback given by that Europe region customers, from the Asia Pacific region also, so many customers showed interest. Okay, from the Asia Pacific region also, so many customers showed interest. So that they have expanded their business to the Asia Pacific region also. Salesforce people have expanded their business to Asia Pacific region also. So they have expanded the business to Asia Pacific region also, that is called as AP region. So now here also the same situation. In the Asia Pacific region, they have established the first server, that is AP0. Here the server number that is AP0. This is the first server which they have established. In this AP0 server, they are allocating the memory space for few customers. Whenever a customer from the Asia Pacific region, they are allocating the memory space inside this AP0 server. Now for the first customer, some memory space. For the second customer, some more memory space. For the third customer, some more memory space. For the fourth customer, some more memory space. Like that here also, they are allocating the memory space for 8,000 organizations. So here also, they are allocating the memory space for 8,000 organizations. Now, if the AP0 server has been full, then they will be expanding their business to the AP1 server. They are establishing one more server with the number AP1. They have started that new server AP1. So in this server also they keep on allocating the memory space for 8,000 organizations. If AP1 server is also full, then they are going to be establishing a new server AP2. And then if that is also full, AP3. If that is also full, AP4. Like that, keep on they're expanding that servers. Now currently they are into AP30. Okay, currently they are into AP30. These are the 31 servers are available for Salesforce in the Asia Pacific region. So these are the various servers are maintaining by Salesforce over here. Okay, these are the various servers are maintaining by Salesforce. So now here in this case, initially they have started their business from the North America region, where in North America region they are having totally 130 servers are available, 131 servers are available, which is starting with some NA0 to NA130. And in each and every server they are going to be allocating the memory space for 8,000 organizations. This each and every organization is nothing but one customer. Okay, one customer. Like as for example, assume that this is the entire Google server. Okay, Google server. So now whenever I'm creating a Gmail account, then it will be allocating some amount of memory space here. Okay, this is my Gmail account. So this is some 15 GB. So whatever the emails I have sent, whatever the emails I have received, whatever the documents I have uploaded into the Google Drive, and whatever the pictures, images, audio files, video files, everything will be storing inside this. And one more person has created his own Gmail account. For that one, they're allocating some different amount of memory space. Another customer created one more Gmail account. They're allocating some more memory space. Like that similar way here. The same concept is available here also when coming to Salesforce. So whenever, if any of the customers showed interest to utilize the Salesforce services, now Salesforce is allocating some amount of memory space. This allocating this memory space is called as creating the Salesforce account. Now that Salesforce account is also called as an organization, that is called as Salesforce.com organization. Creating a Salesforce account is called as the Salesforce.com organization. Now in that organization they are allocating some amount of memory space. In that memory space, the customer can able to install their applications. You can store their data, you can store their files, you can store documents. Everything will be getting resides inside that. Other people can't access your documents, other people can't access your data, other people can't touch your data without your permission. That much of security boundaries has been given by Salesforce. Even though the multiple customers' data is available inside a single server, multiple customers' applications are running inside a single server, one customer's data cannot be accessible by the other customer. That much of security boundaries has been given by Salesforce over here. Now, so now here in this case here, okay, now here in this case, when coming to the North America region, Salesforce is maintaining totally 131 servers, because from NA0 to NA130. And in the Europe region, they are maintaining the servers from EU0 to EU26, totally 27 servers. In the Asia Pacific region, they are having the servers from AP0 to AP30, totally 31 servers are available maintaining the Salesforce. So now here in this case here, Salesforce people has expanded their business to the 3 different regions, like as North America region, Europe region, and the Asia Pacific region. In these 3 regions, they are maintaining the various servers over here. In those servers, they are going to be allocating some amount of memory space. Okay. So now let's come to the entry point of view questions in this case here. Now, in this case, they will raise a question. For example, assume that I have an organization, like as some TCS. Okay, TCS. So TCS people showed interest 6 months back. So Salesforce people has allocated some amount of memory space for the TCS. This is a memory space. Assume that this memory space is some 100 GB. Assume that this memory space is some 100 GB. So Salesforce people has allocated some 100 GB of memory space for that customer TCS. Now since almost 6 months, keep on they are using this organization, they keep on storing some data. So whatever the memory space has been allocated by Salesforce, like as 100 GB, now that 100 GB has been full. Okay, that 100 GB has been full. There is no memory space. Now still they want to store some more data. Then what they can do? So whatever the memory space has been allocated by Salesforce, that memory space is full. We don't have any space over here. Then I would like to store some more data. Then what we can do? So no memory space. Do I need to stop my business? No. Then what we can do here? Whatever the memory space they have given by default, if that memory space has been full, then we can able to expand that memory space also. Whatever the additional memory space that you want, we can able to buy that additional memory space by contacting Salesforce. Like for example, whenever I'm going to be using my mobile, in my mobile I'm having some internal storage is available, like some 8 GB or 16 GB, whatever. So whatever the internal memory space has been full, then what we can do? We can able to expand that by adding some additional SD cards. By adding some memory card, we can able to expand that memory space so that we can store some more data inside that. Like the similar way here also, when coming to the Salesforce, whatever the memory space has been allocated by the Salesforce people, if that memory space has been full, then we can expand that memory space by contacting Salesforce by purchasing additional storage. Whatever the additional memory space that you want. If you want 100 more GB or 200 GB additionally or 50 GB or whatever the memory space that you want, we can able to buy that additional storage capacity by contacting Salesforce. That flexibility is available to you. So that keep on, as a customer I can able to expand my business also. I can store some more data also by purchasing the additional memory space by contacting Salesforce. Now, in this case, I have one more question here. So for example, customer 1, that means some TCS people. TCS people wants to expand the memory space. They want 100 more GB additionally here. Then in this case here, where this memory will be getting allocated? Already in the NS0 server, 8,000 organizations are available. For 8,000 customers, they have allocated the memory. Now Salesforce people, now the TCS people want some more memory space. Then where the memory space will be getting allocated? In the same server or in a different server? If it is in a different server, what will happen? From now onwards, whatever the data that I am going to store, that data will be storing in the new server here. So now the old data, as of now, whatever we have stored, that will be there in the NS0 server. And from now onwards, whatever the records I am going to create, those records will be storing in the new server here. But in this case, some data is there in the NS0 server, some data is there in the new server here. At that time, upon searching for some information, then where it has to search? It has to search in both the servers over here. Because some data is there in the NA1 server and the NA0 server, some data is there in a different server here. At that time, now tell me, searching the data in one server is easy or searching the data in two servers are easy? In one server. So that here, when coming to the Salesforce people are going to be keep on placing one customer's data inside a single server itself. Always, a customer's data will be available inside a single server itself. They're not segregating the data to the multiple servers, because at the time of searching the data, it will be impacting on the performance issues. It will be causing so many performance issues. To avoid those problems here, always Salesforce people wants to make one customer data should be always there inside a single server itself. Now here in this case, you can raise a question, sir, already Salesforce people has allocated the memory space for 8,000 organizations. In this one, in this case, even though they're allocating the memory space for 8,000 organizations, in each and every server, they will be having some buffer space. They're maintaining some buffer space is available here. So now which they are going to be keeping as it is in order to allocate the memory space to the customers to extend. So whenever here the customer wants to expand their memory space, so now for that customer, there will be allocating the memory space from this buffer space here. So that they will be having some buffer space in each and every server. Not only in one server, in every server they will be having some buffer spaces available. Because every customer wants to grow always. Every customer's business has to be get grown. So that they would like to expand the memory space also. For that one, they are maintaining some buffer space over here. Now, in this case, whatever the buffer memory they have, from that buffer memory, they are allocating some 100 GB of memory space for that TCS. For the TCS people, they are allocating that 100 GB of memory space. So, in order to get this additional 100 GB, the TCS people has to pay some amount to that Salesforce. Okay, we have to pay some amount to that Salesforce. So that here, when coming to that customer, whenever if the customer wants to expand their business, if they want to expand their data memory space, then they can contact Salesforce and they can buy whatever the additional storage they need. It may be 50 GB, 100 GB, 200 GB, whatever the memory space they want, they can able to buy that additional storage by contacting Salesforce, by paying the additional amount. In this case, that additional space will be allocating in the same server, not in a different server. Because if they're allocating that memory space in a different server, it will be impacting on the performance issues. So, to avoid those kind of problems here, they are going to be allocating the memory space in the same server itself. Now, so now here in this case, like the similar way, here I am having one more question over here. Now, IBM people wants to expand the memory space. For the IBM people, they have allocated some more memory space. They got some 200 GB. And that CTS people, for that one, they have allocated the memory space. For the Wipro people, some more memory space here. So now, if they keep on allocating the additional memory space for those customers, then at a certain point of time, whatever the buffer space they have, that buffer space is also full. Okay, that buffer space is also full. There is no more space here. Now, now the TCS people want some more 100 GB here. Okay, they want some more 100 GB, one more 100 GB of memory space here. Then what they will do? In this case, Salesforce people are going to be expanding that buffer memory space here. Okay, they will expand that buffer memory space, and then from that additional buffer memory space, they will be allocating 100 GB to the TCS people again. Okay, so whatever the buffer space they have, if that buffer space is also full, then they are going to be expanding that buffer space here. Okay, they are expanding the buffer space, and from that additional space, they are going to be allocating the required amount of memory for that customer itself. This the internal concept is maintaining by Salesforce as part of architectural level. As part of infrastructure level, Salesforce is maintaining this kind of servers here. Now, so in this case here, now here in this case, in the entry point of view, they will raise a common question. It's a common question in every interview. So now whenever I'm putting some experience on Salesforce, they will raise a question. So you have worked on one of the Salesforce project. Your recent project is on Salesforce. So, to implement that Salesforce application, we should have a Salesforce.com organization. Okay, we should have a Salesforce.com organization. So, like this here, you should require a Salesforce.com organization. So, now if the organization is available, then on which server this particular organization's memory space has been reserved. Nothing but on which server your project's Salesforce organization is available here. Is it available on which server here? The memory has been allocated for your organization in which server? In NA0 server, NA1 server, NA2 server, on what server? They will be raising this question here. This small question is enough to identify whether you are a genuine or a fake. Because whenever I am going to be working on a Salesforce application. That means what here? First of all, we have to create the Salesforce account, right? Creating the Salesforce account means creating the Salesforce.com organization, right? That means it is allocating some memory space, right? Where it will be allocating inside a server. Then what is that server number here? On which server the memory has been allocated? In this case, if they are raising this question for you to you in the entry point of view, then give a server number here. Suppose if you are putting the project here, if you are putting the project for a US client, then give the server number between NA0 to NA130. You can give any server number. Okay, don't think about the server number here. Okay, say confidently, like as NA21 or NA18 or NA45, 1A56, like that. Give a number here. That's it. But don't cross this range here because we are having the servers as of now NA0 to NA130. Okay, don't go beyond this range over here. Give any one of the server number between this range itself. If you are giving that server number out of this range, then you are not a genuine person, you are a fake person. It's a small question. It's a basic level question, but this is enough to identify whether we are genuine or not. So that don't give the chance to the people. So now give a server number. Don't think about the server number. Give the server number that is like some NA21, NA18, NA14, NA46, NA57, NA90, whatever. Between that range NA0 to NA130. When if you are putting the project which is for a US client. Suppose if you work for the UK client, then UK client is always using that servers, Europe region servers. So at that time in the Europe region we are having the servers between EU0 to EU26. So at that time give the server number between EU0 to EU26. Like as give that server number like as NA4, NA5, NA21, NA18, NA14, whatever, give the server number here. If you have worked for the Asia Pacific region client, so at that time give the server numbers between Asia Pacific region servers AP0 to AP30. Between the server numbers, give any one of the server number over here. So that here, when the entry point of view, this is a very, very common question as part of architecture level. Generally, nobody will discuss all these things. Simply, they will show you how to create the Salesforce account. But upon creating the Salesforce account, this is the internal process will be happening with Salesforce. So now we'll see. In the next session, we are going to be creating our own Salesforce account. So whenever I'm creating the Salesforce account, Salesforce is allocating some amount of memory space inside the associated regions available server. In that server, they will be allocating some memory space so that we can able to deploy your applications inside your memory space. You can store your data, you can store your files and the records and documents, everything will be storing inside that, which cannot be accessible by the other persons without your permissions. That much of security features and the security boundaries has been configured by Salesforce. Okay, now next you see. So now here in this case, in the entry point of view, they will raise one more question. For example, I have my Salesforce account. Okay, I have my Salesforce account, which is in some API. Okay, I'm having the Salesforce account where the memory has been allocated inside a server called as an AP8 server. It's a Asia Pacific region server. Okay, AP8 is a Asia Pacific region server. Now, till yesterday, my application worked very fine. There is no issue. Since today morning, when I try to access my application, which is available inside that AP8 server, I'm unable to access that application. Then what is the problem here? Is it a problem because of the AP8 server? Is it a problem because of my system or my network? How do we know? How can we cross-check that? So whenever I'm trying to be accessing my application, which is available inside that AP8 server, then what is the problem? Is it a problem because of Salesforce server? Or is it a problem because of my system or my network? How can we identify here? So in this case, if you want to know how many servers are available in each and every region and how can we verify whether the server is up and running fine or not, for that one we are going to be using a website. To track this server's information, Salesforce is providing a website called as https status.salesforce.com. So we can go to that status.salesforce.com website In that status.salesforce.com website, we can verify in each and every region how many servers are available and what is that server status right now, whether the server is up and running fine or not, or is there any performance issues inside the server, or the server has been down, or if there is any issues inside the server, then we can cross check that information also. Then how can we verify this one? Now let's see practically in this case. So let me go to that browser and I would like to access that website here, like as status.salesforce.com. When I click on the status.salesforce.com, it is loading that website here. Just to go to that option, all. Okay, click on that all. I want to see all the servers over here. Now, so now it is indicating that here. Okay, now it is indicating. So now it is indicating that various regions, these are the various regions are available. Like as North America region, Americas, and the Europe and Middle East and Africa, and then Asia Pacific region. So now these are the server numbers are available, various servers. Okay, like as AP0, AP3, AP4, AP5, AP6, AP7, AP8, like that server numbers are available. We can see all those server numbers here. Okay, now if you now in this case here, if you want to see only that Asia Pacific region server, then just select this checkbox over here. Okay, select this checkbox. Now it is providing only Asia Pacific region servers. Suppose if you want to see the North America region server, then just you can select this checkbox so that what region servers information you want to verify. So just you can able to select the checkbox here. For example, I'm selecting the Asia Pacific region. If I'm selecting this Asia Pacific region, now it is indicating that AP02, we are having some AP28 servers are available over here. Okay, AP28 servers are available over here. So in this case, whenever we are having the server numbers, each and every server is having that server number aligned with a green color tick mark. What is this green color tick mark is available? Now here they have given that recent option. Okay, they have given that recent option. Now this green color tick mark is nothing but available. The server is up and running fine. If we are having this orange color exclamation symbol, it is indicating performance issue. There is a performance issue there inside the server. If it is indicating with this symbol, it is indicating server has been stopped because of some issues. And if it is having this symbol, it is indicating server is in maintenance stage. Like that, we can able to know the server status also by using this notation. So just by using this notation, we can understand what exactly the current status of this server. Is the server is up and running fine, or is there any performance issue? Is there any server has been stopped? Is there any maintenance? Everything we can verify here. So that here, all the servers are having green color tick mark, that means servers are up and running fine. There is no issues inside the server. Suppose for example, my application is there inside the AP8 server. So if you want to know what exactly that server information, so just click on the AP8. So once you click on this AP8 server, now we can see the status of your AP8 server here. So now this is the AP8 server over here. Now we can verify that AP8 server information. Now it is indicating current status by service. Now the overall system is up and running fine. Now it is indicating available. Okay, the overall system is up and running fine. There is no issue. Inside that server, core services are working very fine. There is no issue. Search feature is working very fine. Analytics feature is working very fine. Live agent is also working very fine. CPQ and the billing features are also working very fine. There is no issues inside this. So that overall, the system is running very fine. So there is no issues inside that, which is indicating available. Now in this case, you can raise a question. Sir, when I try to access my application 2 days back, nothing but here yesterday or day before yesterday, I have faced some problem here. At that time, we can verify that the last 3 days history of the server also. Now here you will be having an option called as history. Okay. Click on this history, we can verify the last 3 days history of that server status also. In the last 3 days, what about the server status? Is it working very fine, or do we have any issues? Now it is indicating that whole information here. Now the 4/8, nothing but the April 8th information, and then April 7th information, April 6th information, nothing but we can verify. Suppose for example here, for each and every 6 hours, Salesforce people keep on verifying the health checkup of the system. Okay, for each and every 6 hours, Salesforce people are keep on verifying the health checkup of the system in order to make sure that server should not be stopped. Server should be run always up and running fine. It should not be having any issues over there. So for that one, they are keep on verifying the health checkup of the system as it is over here. Now, so now here in this case here, okay, now here in this case, if there is any issues is there on the 4th, 6th, nothing but on 6th of that April, if there is an issue between some 10 to 11, at that time, in that particular time period, you will be having some small symbol here. Here they will be having a small symbol. So once you click on that symbol, it will be indicating what exactly the problem over there. Okay. Now this line is going to be indicating the time. Okay, this line is indicating the time over here. Now from this time to this time, if there is an issue, it will be indicating that issue over here. It will be giving that symbol to you. Now, so now there is no other colors here, completely green color. That means here servers are running very fine since 3 days. Last 3 days there is no issues over there. Now we can able to verify that. If you want to know when Salesforce is planning to do the maintenance for this server, then we can able to go to the maintenance tab. Click on this maintenance tab. Here we can verify how frequently Salesforce is planning to do the maintenance over here. Now, in the past 33 days, they did some 7 maintenances over here. And the next one. And next one, the April, they are having some 12 maintenances has been scheduled by Salesforce, which is for the CPQ and the billing features over here. Now, after that, if you want to verify that, on June 15th, Salesforce is planning for one more major maintenance that is called Summer 19 major release. That means what? Salesforce is going to be providing a new release, okay, that is called Summer 19, which is on June 15th at 9:30 p.m. IST. Okay, at 9:30 p.m. IST here. Then how much time they will take to upgrade this server here with the latest release? Now let's see. Now, if you want to know some more information about this, the new release, just click on the ticket number. Click on this ticket number. Now it is indicating this information here. So now this is a Summer 19 major release, which is given by Salesforce over here on June 15th. Now the status of this maintenance is confirmed status. Impacted servers are API. Impacted services are the core services. Type of maintenance is it is a new release. And then what is that planned date? June 15th. Then how much time they will take to upgrade your Salesforce account with the new release? They're taking some 9:30 p.m. IST to 9:35 p.m. IST. That means here how much time? 5 minutes. Okay. Within 5 minutes, your account will be upgrading with the latest features automatically by default. Okay. Whatever the new features given by Salesforce as part of new release, those new features will be upgrading into your account automatically by default within 5 minutes of time. Generally, they're having the deployment window as 5 minutes, but they will complete the task within 1 minute itself here, max. They will be completing the task within 1 minute itself here. So no need to take that 5 minutes of time. They will be giving within 1 minute itself, they will be giving that. During this 5 minutes of time, what about the server they're indicating? Availability. Now this instance will not be available during this maintenance window. That means this server will not be accessible during this 5 minutes of deployment time because your Salesforce will upgrade your features. So during that time, your customers, your partners, or end users will not be able to access your application. So we have to inform to those customers and the partners that our server is going for the maintenance, our application is going for the maintenance. Okay, on so and so date from so and so time to so and so time. So please plan accordingly. So we can inform to all our customers, or partners, or end users also. The flexibility is available because your Salesforce is giving the next 1 year maintenance calendar before itself. So they are giving that maintenance calendar till what? Till March. Okay, till February 15th, they have given that the complete maintenance calendar. Like as February 15th, 2020. Okay, till the February 15th, 2020, whatever the maintenance has been planned by Salesforce, the whole information they have given over here. So based on this maintenance information, we have informed to our client, or we have informed to our customers, or our partners, or end users, our application will not be accessible on so and so date from so and so time to so and so time because of that maintenance activity. So that those people will plan accordingly here. So this is how we can able to track all the service information. how many servers are available, and what exactly the server status currently, and we can see the previous 3 days history also. We can verify the maintenance has been planned by Salesforce for each and every server. We can verify this information inside this. The flexibility is available as part of these server instances. Okay. So this is the concept of server instances in Salesforce. Okay. Now, so in tomorrow's session, we'll see the concept of multi-tenant architecture. And then we'll see the concept of editions, and then we'll see how to create our own Salesforce account over here. Okay. So tomorrow we are going to be discussing how to create our own Salesforce account. From there, we'll enter into the practical part over here. Okay. Thank you.